Well, here we are. It's XXL Men again, and we're up to episode 6, Life and Death. Myself and the great Jason Roy Gaston. Mate, what an episode. What a diversion from last week.
Indeed. A lot less death and suffering, but a lot more ew.
Yeah, a little bit of ooh, isn't it? And obviously
Yeah.
there's spoilers, guys, through this. So if you haven't seen the latest episode of X-Men 97, go watch it and then
What are
come
you
back.
doing here? Go
Yeah,
away.
what are you doing here? But we go straight into what the Shi'ar War, like the effects of that.
Ronan.
Yeah,
Ronan.
which was really jarring in the beginning because of the weight of last week. But like I said, it was great diversion, and we find out where the great Professor X is.
Yes, because if you were not watching the original X-Men series, you may have thought that the professor actually was dead, but no. No, he's off with his lady friend Lalandra out in the universe getting cured and getting a little something else, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, and he's got his mech suit, he's looking all buff as well, even in his yeah. But it's I thought it was a great look because we're getting into the politics of that immediately,
Yes.
And at that time, Jason, he is unaware in the beginning, because that's my first question in my head is like, does he know? Does he know?
I like that upon rewatching this episode, you realize that this takes place during the last episode. I love that. It's almost like this. I know that everybody in their dog has been comparing this to 9/11. Even the producers have been comparing this to 9/11. But yeah, this is like one of those slice of lives, like looking at newscasts right before 9/11 happened. How just ordinary people were going on with their lives. Obviously Storm and the professor are not ordinary people, but they're going on with their lives and they're doing their own thing. And then they just get that gut punch. I mean, it was fascinating.
And we get that kind of, you mentioned already, when Storm finds out, that is a massive gut punch. But we'll get there. Right at the big, I don't know about you, Jace, but as the credits, like the intro was playing and not seeing Gambit there.
But we did see our boy Nightcrawler
replaced. Yeah, replacement is like, oh.
I've always wanted Nightcrawler in the X-Men lineup from that cartoon.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yes.
Not like this.
Yes, not like this. But we should get back into it. So, yeah, so they want to get married, and the sister, I can't remember what the sister's name.
Deathbird!
Deathbird!
Deathbird! Incidentally, Deathbird had the greatest entrance of all time.
What was her entrance?
Whenever she crashes through the spaceship and she's like, Deathbird! And Ronan's like, oh, Deathbird! Deathbird!
Yeah, this version of Ronan, he's basically, not exactly at his peak. He's cowering at this point.
See, if I'd been writing the show, that would have been the only thing she said was Deathbird! It would be like Matt Damon. Just, she walks into the meeting room. She goes, Deathbird! Deathbird, we told you. We're in love. We're going to get married. Deathbird!
But you're talking about the gut punch because they're really clever in writing this story, because they write enough for us to go, oh, he's got to test himself whether he's worthy of marrying her. There's all this. And then he gets that psychic connection, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's just,
and everything immediately changes.
Can we just say real quick how awesome Ross Marquardt is stepping into the role of the professor? I didn't know this was a different guy doing the voice.
I didn't either.
Yeah, this is Ross Marquardt. He's the guy who played Red Skull in Avengers Endgame. He was in The Walking Dead. He is a heck of a mimic, and I did not know this was a different voice actor.
Yeah, because he mimicked the original Red Skull's voice really well.
Yes, he did. And the original voice talent is still around. He has not passed on. He's just retired.
Just
like, X-Men 97. No.
I'm by fishing. The pool.
I'm fishing. As long as Gambit's okay, I'm fine with it. You can take the role. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can
Professor
can-
X, man, I really loved the fact that when it came down to the crunch, because if in a way I'm watching and going, come on, man, you have no idea what's going on on Earth. You know, you need to pull it your head around your own self at backside. And woo, does he what?
Yep.
That's it.
He finds
Forget
out.
like at the end of the day, forget it, lady. You might be hot and all that, you know, but at the end of the day, my family's in trouble. I got to deal with this.
Absolutely.
And then we go to the Storm and Forge thing, which was probably
Hmm.
last time a little bit of the weakest kind of plot line. It seemed to be, ooh, well, if we're going to do this, and we get a little bit more of it, but the adversary, it's all about her still dealing with the adversary.
Okay, can we just stop for a minute and talk about how creepy the adversary is and how beautiful the animation of the adversary is? Because anytime that creature was on screen, I was just watching it like, what the heck is
There's
this?
a bit where it's twisting its head around, and that as he's like psychologically manipulating her. It's really cool, actually. It's really creepy.
And of course, we find out, well, not only does Storm get her powers back, but she gets a new power, costume design.
Yeah. Yep. And she has taste.
I have to admit,
She has style.
I've never been a fan of this costume. With the
You
big
don't like
hoop
this
in the middle.
costume?
I don't like this costume. I like the classic white. I think the classic white costume
No, I
looked
don't mind
regal
this.
and everything. This
Yeah.
one looks too strippery.
But might say something about me then. But it also represents this is a different Storm now. This is a before and after Storm, and this is the after Storm as we get. But what they do find out about Master Mold's attack is who's behind all this.
But is he
No
really?
surprise. I
Is
think
he really though? Is
I
he?
think he's the big bad in this. I think this has all got to do with Mr. Sinister. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like another layer into it, but I think that's the big bad.
Where does Nathan come into all of this? Because it seemed
That's a
like
good
he
question.
had a plan, and now all of a sudden he's like murdering all the mutants. I mean, what's? I'm not convinced he's the. I'm not convinced he's the big bad. I think he's being used, and I still say Miss Cassandra is out there somewhere.
Ooh.
Yes, I still
well,
think she's out there.
I tell you what, if this show has taught me anything in 6 episodes, anything can happen. So it's a hard show to predict any future into it because they're willing to do anything, as we can see. Rest in peace, Gambit.
Well, my thought is if Cassandra is out there somewhere, she is trying to get Charles to come back to Earth, and she got a way to bring Charles back to Earth.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
wow. If that's what it comes down to, is like that woman's got a few issues.
Oh, she's got volumes. Absolute volumes. If she's in the show, I could be completely wrong. This could be the X-Men version of Butt Bugs.
Yeah.
I'll be coming up every week. It's Cassandra. It's Cassandra. Nope, it's Mr. Sinister. Darn it!
The first question I asked myself when I realized Professor X going back and going, now let's really see if he did tell Magneto all of this or what the deal is, because I get the feeling the Magneto's taken a little bit of truth and expanded on it to get his own way. So I'm really interested to see that dynamic on screen together and what really is behind all this. But
Jace, Magneto is dead.
No.
Yeah. Nobody, no death. Nobody, no death. What? All I can say is,
though, I mean, Gambit could be alive too. Like, I wouldn't doubt there's a universe-setting event at some point.
I will be very upset if there is.
Yeah. What's the good term for it?
Reset button.
The reset button. Ex Machina, isn't it?
Ex Machina. Yeah, I don't know. Let's not do that, please.
Let's not do that. Yeah, let's stay away from that because everything's been so fresh so far in the series. Everything has been humming on all cylinders. This could have been an episode that maybe I wouldn't have liked because of how powerful last week was, but I really enjoyed what I saw this week. And
it was it was nice seeing some joy when Storm took her flight. That was such a great sequence, and it was such a palate cleanser from the tragedy and grody-ness that we've seen in the last couple of
For
episodes.
me, is I was getting claustrophobic in that scene just before she
Mhm.
breaks out, where
Yep.
she's getting kind of crushed, like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
feeling like it. So, wicked episode, mate. I can't wait for next week. I know you can't. And thank God they just didn't dump all this.
Oh, I
That
know.
they've allowed us.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the marinade. I'm
me too.
enjoying that I have to think about them. Otherwise, it would have been click next episode, click next episode, click next episode. Oh no, I forgot what happened in the last 3 episodes. It's Avatar all over again.
All right, guys, that's what we thought of this week's X-Men 97. Check us out next week as we talk about episode 7, Bright Eyes. We'll see you then, guys. All right, there you go. So, do you think he wore that mech suit when he was,
You know it.
maybe getting a little? Yeah.
There are attachments, is all I'm saying. Attachments and accessories.